Well, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 4. I am Frank Omalape, and here are some of the reports we're filing at this time. After a 2-year-long leadership crisis, the Nigeria Governors Forum has resolved its differences and reunited as a single body under the outgoing Rivers State Governor, Rotimi Amechi. This was the outcome of a 3-hour-long meeting which ended in Abuja in the early hours of Tuesday. The NGF chairman Rotimi Amechi, who read the reconciliation communique, also announced the Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari as new chairman by consensus.
We are hereby reconciled and reunited as a single umbrella association of the 36 state governors of Nigeria, regardless of party or region. The forum congratulates the president-elect, Muhammadu Buhari, on his victory in the recent presidential election, which held on March 28, 2015, and President Goodluck Jonathan for his statesmanship in accepting the outcome of the elections. In light of the fact that funds in the excess crude account were last disbursed in May 2013, there is need for the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to provide explanation for accruals to this account from June 2013 to April 2015, which is estimated at over $20 billion. The induction program for new and returning governors will be held in June 2015. It is aimed at equipping new and returning governors with knowledge of global best practices, establishing and running their offices.
Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has emerged as the new chairman of the Northern Nigeria Governors Forum. Shettima will succeed outgoing governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu, was unanimously elected by his counterpart from the 19 northern states. The meeting, which took place in Abuja on Monday night, also saw Kano State Governor-elect Abdullahi Ganduje emerge as vice chairman. The governors, at the end of the meeting, agreed to unite the two factions of the Nigeria Governors Forum for the good of the country. They also restated their commitment to addressing the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast as well as other challenges facing northern Nigeria. Meanwhile, state governors are demanding an explanation from Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on the dwindling excess crude account. The governors, who rose from a unified meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum in Abuja, are specifically interested in a crude between June 2013 and April 2015, and the funds were disbursed.
In light of the fact that funds in the excess crude account were last disbursed in May 2013, there is need for the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to provide explanation for accruals to this account from June 2013 to April 2015, which is estimated at over $20 billion.
President Goodluck Jonathan will leave Abuja today, May 19, to attend the 47th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government holding in Accra, Ghana. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, stated this in a statement on Monday. The summit, which coincides with the 40th anniversary of ECOWAS, will receive reports on the current situation in Burkina Faso and Guinea-Bissau and deliberate on issues of democratic consolidation and regional peace and stability. President Jonathan will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Aminu Wali, House of Representatives Majority Leader Mulikat Akonde, and some of his principal aides. He is expected back in Abuja at the conclusion of the one-day summit. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari's decision to drop the appellation general from his name has proved the opinion of many that he might not be able to make the switch from a military ruler to a true democrat. These retired general and army officers lauded the step taken by the president-elect as a welcome development that will remove the strictness of the military and make the president more accessible to the people.
The news of the president-elect Muhammadu Buhari dropping the title General from his name on May 29, 2015 was not unexpected, but has been greeted as a step in the right direction.
I know that what the general will be talking about is that people should not want to re-emphasize his generalship while he is president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not that he's renouncing the rank which he ably earned in the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
General is one of the ranks you actually wear when you merit it. And if the president decides to drop it for a higher calling or a higher rank, I think it's in line.
What exactly does it imply when a general in the Nigerian army drops his title?
Nigeria, we seem to be acculturated with these prefixes. I say prefixes like Alaji, Chief, Malam, and what. But if you look at it, all these prefixes you carry are the one you carry politically. You could actually be a chief in your village community, but it's not larger than Nigeria. The largest title you could carry in Nigeria, I believe, is president, and it won't be subdue or subjugated to any other.
The retired Army General has chosen to be addressed as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. How is it different from being a general?
It makes no difference. There's nothing abnormal there, and there's nothing extraordinary. Whosoever is the head of state or the president is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of any nation. Nigeria is not an exception.
So being the Commander-in-Chief means he's actually he's the boss, the overall boss of as many generals as we can have in our armed forces. That's what being Commander-in-Chief implies.
Muhammadu Buhari will be the second retired Army General to drop this title from his name on assumption of office as president, after General Olusegun Obasanjo, who exchanged the title with Chief on assumption of office as a civilian president in 1999. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Former Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi and former Vice President candidate, a one-time running mate to the General Muhammadu Buhari under the Congress of Progressive Change, Tunde Bakare, have both debunked the claims on the alleged disaffection between the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, and President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. They say both individuals worked so hard to achieve the recent victory at the polls and are not planning to truncate the future plans for Nigeria. Our correspondent Omotayalo has details.
Barely 10 days to the May 29 handover date of government from President Goodluck Jonathan to the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, Nigerians are bubbling with the expectations of the incoming government. While the expectations remain high, news filtered into town about an alleged rift between Buhari and APC national leader Bola Tinubu. But reacting to the alleged rift between the two key leaders of the All Progressives Congress ahead transition, close allies say there is nothing of such in the party, while calling on Nigerians to pay less attention to lies in politics.
They both worked committedly with every fiber in their being to bring us to this point. People don't want to know the good things. They want to look out for the bad story. There is no bad story in APC, I'm afraid.
Those who have helped him to win the election will be acknowledged, will be thanked, but they may not be the same people that will run the government. That's the truth.
On the high expectations from the Buhari-led administration, Bakare urged Nigerians to give key players enough window period in office before they start demanding the fulfillment of the promise made during the campaigns.
The future belongs to entrepreneurs. Now, would the government, incoming government, create jobs? Perhaps, and they should. But we must inculcate into our education that everyone becomes an entrepreneur, that regardless of the circumstances and situation, like Paul said, your hands must provide for your necessities.
As Nigerians look forward to May 29, which is just a few days away, they are hopeful that the new administration will make the desired difference to some of the ills bedeviling the country. Omotayalo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And now the act of trekking is quite normal, but its recently popularity in the Nigerian polity after the 2015 presidential elections have left much to be desired, as many question if the purpose of embarking on such long-distance travel on foot is in any way healthy. In a space of 3 months, no less than 5 Nigerians have traveled long distances on foot from different parts of the country to Abuja or Otoke, either to congratulate President-elect Muhammadu Buhari or celebrate the outgoing President Goodluck Jonathan for conceding defeat after the 2015 presidential poll. While many have tagged the act to be unnecessary and dangerous, a school of thought continually celebrates the trekkers who against all odds go on such trips. But for a recent trekker, a 35-year-old mother with a 40-day-old infant daughter trekking from Mina to Abuja in honor of Buhari, Nigerians fear if such decision was taken wisely. Our correspondent Omotayalo has details in this special report.
The trending act of trekking is gradually becoming the order of the day for few Nigerians who've decided to embark on a mission to meet with either the president-elect or outgoing president. Some even trekked on behalf of all Nigerians as a sign of patriotism. But for Musa Ibrahim, a 30-year-old double amputee, a trek the distance from Kaduna to Abuja, which ended in blisters on his feet to present the plight of the physically challenged to the president-elect for considerable assistance when he assumes office. I have traveled this far to make a plea on behalf of the physically challenged, who are in dire need of the government's assistance for medical attention, business and considerations for political appointments. Not just Ibrahim, others like Ago Joy, 43-year-old Abubakar Ma, and Sulaimon Ashimu, who spent 19 days on the road trekking from Lagos to Abuja, have traveled taking the same risk for interests best known to them. But when Alice Daniel, a newly delivered mother of a 40-day-old daughter, joined the League of Trekkers on a 150-kilometer journey from Mina to Abuja, it was not a welcome development for most Nigerians.
I don't see the reason why someone should suffer himself trekking all the way from here to Abuja. That is not an appreciation. I don't take it.
If anything happened on the road, what will she do? Even as a woman, I can still take care of a man, not a woman.
I want to embark on fasting to be able to allow certain results. And I carry my newborn baby along with fasting. That's the highest stage of foolishness.
With this in mind, CoreTV News consulted a medical practitioner, Jonathan Kichime, who revealed that the trek was quite a dangerous one for the mother and daughter.
By the time you trek all this long distance, the baby can have acute renal failure. That also applies to the mother. She too can be dehydrated. You can have very low tubular perfusion. They can get necrosis, and the mother too can have acute renal failure.
While individuals have rights to do as they please, medical experts have advised against long-distance trek, describing it as a major health risk. Omotayo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Away from there now, the police authorities are set to withdraw orders from individuals who are not entitled to them. Inspector General of Police Solomon Arasha disclosed this on Monday while receiving the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi, in Abuja. He explained that the move will ensure that there will be more police personnel for the deployment at a time the force is experiencing a shortage of manpower. Ajaraji also affirmed his readiness to collaborate with the FRSC to ensure safer and more secured roads nationwide.
President Police is one. We work together, and I believe this is the beginning of a new era. And I must commend the past IGs for their contribution towards an enduring safe road culture. So far so good. So far so good. I think we're on the right track. We acknowledge that the Nigerian Police Force is the lead agency for internal security in the country. And let me also commend for the successful election in the country, which has been acknowledged globally. And I think the police is the lead agency when it comes to internal security, and this role has been fully played well. And we participated under the various police commands nationwide, and the deployment was done today is a success story. That's everybody.
For this abuse of siren, it's a very, very big problem. we had already directed that all persons who are not entitled to security, they should withdraw them immediately. One, we don't have sufficient men to police, our various society, and some of them, they carry these people all over the place. So I think we are going to put up a team, maybe under the DIG operations, to ensure that we immediately clamp down on them, and we give directives, that we will not allow people who are not entitled to this security and this siren to abuse them.
Meanwhile, police have commissioned 250 hellas trucks with which they plan to replace roadblocks across the country. The vehicles, according to Inspector General of Police Solomon Arashe, will be used under a scheme tagged Safer Highway Patrol. He also assured Nigerians that they would not be exposed to security threats with the ban on roadblocks.
The federal government has therefore decided to provide us with sufficient vehicles so that we can reassure Nigerians that the roads are going to be safer for them despite the dismantling of the roadblocks. So what we are doing this morning is to deploy initially 259 vehicles across all the 37 states of the country, including Abuja, to take over that void, to be able to take the place of the void that we created by removing the roadblocks. And those issues that are repugnant to Nigerians, especially the corruption that are attendant to those things, we've been able to find a way of ensuring that we solve them.
You're still watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a break now. Be back with more stories after this time at Jonas Ken.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
This is CoreTV News at 4 live from our Lagos studios. For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News NG. For live streaming, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Give it space, then news. And now, for the second time within a month, the Senate was forced to suspend all its activities for 24 hours as a result of the death of one of its members, Ahmad Zana of Borno Central. Senate President David Mark also led his colleagues to sign a condolence register, after which they all paid tribute to the late legislator. Many of them said Zana would be remembered for the manner he regularly drew local and international attention to the plight of the people of Borno State at the height of the Boko Haram insurgency. Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayoshi is soliciting the support of Inspector General of Police Solomon Arashe in stemming the tide of kidnapping in his state. Fayoshi made the appeal when he visited Inspector General of Police in Abuja. Shortly after the meeting, Fayoshi told journalists that he is satisfied with the assurances he received from the police helpsman.
I am satisfied, and I need to let you know that I am not a policeman. I don't have the necessary experience to fight crime. And the people that has what it takes to fight crime, I have told them, and they've reassured us, reassured me, and reassured the Ekiti people. So it's encouraging. And I will go back home now and assure my people that the police is not only doing their best, but they assured us that they will handle the matter perfectly.
And with the kidnap of Shade Alade, a lecturer at the Ekiti State University in Ado-Ekiti last Saturday, adding to the growing number of kidnapping in state. Lecturers under the aegis of the Academic Staff Union of Universities Ekiti State Chapter have taken to the streets to call for action on the issue of kidnapping in the state. The protesters took the protest to the governor's office and the Oba's Palace. Our correspondent Rashid has more.
The rising tide of kidnapping in Ekiti State is no doubt a worrisome development, which has forced the state government to petition the Inspector General of Police for help over the matter. But this appeal notwithstanding, the kidnappers once again struck over the weekend with the abduction of Shadi Alade, a university lecturer at Ekiti State University. Apparently dissatisfied with this, her colleagues at the university under the aegis of the Academic Staff Union of Universities have taken to the streets of Ado Ekiti to call for action. The first port of call was the palace of the Iwi of Ado Ekiti, who calls for calm.
We are working round the clock. I pray by the grace of God, whoever is behind all these things, God will reveal them.
Reacting, Olu Olufayo, leader of the protesting lecturers, says prayers may not be enough and called for action to ensure the prompt release of the victims.
70 million naira. And the question is, where do we get this money? How do we look for 70 million? Still 70 million per person, even if it's for the 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Academic staff, we only rendering community services to people. In Exu, the last we've been able to collect is a February salary. Service provider can as well help us too, because they are using a phone. And within radius to where they have their mass, they can tell us the radius, and then these people can move in immediately. And then we comb all the forest in Ekiti. There are some Sambisa forests around here.
At the governor's office, the deputy governor, Lushola Eleka, who was also a lecturer before becoming deputy governor, says the government is doing all it can to curb the menace.
His Excellency, the Governor, Dr. Adilefa Rishi, has taken this step of writing officially to the Inspector General of Police, calling for a special attention and special intervention to stem this spate of unwarranted kidnappings.
As Ekiti State awaits the arrival of a new police chief, it is hoped that a change of baton will bring a halt to kidnappings and bring home those still in captivity. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
The police authorities have paraded 11 suspected cult leaders from Edo State. First Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Ojukwu says another 30 suspects linked to the murder of 123 years Constant Yoha are also in police custody. He maintains that all the suspects have confessed to the crime, but some of them denied involvement in court activities. Our correspondent Pius Hammer has more.
The activities of cult groups across the country has over time been a source of concern for the police authorities. But on assuming office, the new Inspector General promised to put a stop to the activities. So, shortly after assumption, he formed a special crack squad and promptly dispatched the operatives to Edo State.
The team arrived the state on the 11th day of May 2015, and they have succeeded to a large extent in restoring order to that state. This afternoon, I'm presenting to you some persons suspected to have played ignoble roles in acts of terror, vicious inter- and intra-court conflicts that have led to avoidable losses of lives and destruction of property in Edo State. As you will soon find out, the core groups and their membership is not limited to students, but also include artisans, civil servants, businessmen, public office holders, and I tell you, professionals in many areas of life.
Among the highly placed suspects in custody are an engineer and a doctor. The police said they were arrested with some exhibits, but some of the suspects denied involvement in any cult activities.
I am very aware that the SIB department of the Edo State Police Command will bear witness on this. I came out to assist them and I have made several arrests for them. I have assisted them also. And we were arrested on a Tuesday when I came for a meeting with the Commissioner of Police at Edo State Police Command.
So we came out willingly to help the Nigerian police to assist them to ensure that we get this miscreant. We had the first meeting, and when we came back for the second meeting, we all rounded up, and that's why we found ourselves here.
One after the other, the police authorities reeled out the names of the cult groups they belong to. They also listed items recovered from each of the 11 suspects.
We have Engineer David Ulukoga, 36-year-old, a member of a year confraternity. We have Dr. Salako Adebowale, age 43. His core group is called Black Axe Confraternity. We have Osunde Aibedo, age 48, also of Black Axe. We have Ahuan Orlando, age 39, also of Black Axe. We have Uche Chukwuka, age 36, member of Eye Confraternity.
For now, the suspects are in custody in Abuja, but the police authorities say they will be charged to court after investigations. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
President Goodluck Jonathan has relieved the Executive Secretary, Chief Executive of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, Saratu Maro, of her position. Presidential spokesman Ruben Abati disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. No reason was given for the decision, but he added that the president has since named Uju Aisha Hassan Baba as replacement. The new executive secretary of NIPC had previously served as Director General, Legal and Counsel of Nigeria, Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Anambra State, and Director of Legal Services in the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. And our Corps members undergoing the one-year mandatory service in Taraba State have planned to embark on a peaceful protest to both the government house and the State House of Assembly over alleged refusal of the state government to pay them their allowance. It was gathered that for the past 6 months, Corps members serving in the state have not been paid the allowance due to them. And some of the Corps members who spoke with newsmen said apart from the month's take-home that comes from the federal government, the Taraba state government is doing nothing to assist them. Meanwhile, at the NYSC Secretariat, the state coordinator could not be reached for comment, but a senior member of staff who offered to speak on the issue said the leadership of the scheme in the state has been working round the clock to reach out to the state government. A tragedy struck at the popular wooden market in Offa local government area of Kwara State with a fire incident at the weekend which destroyed wares worth millions of naira. The fire, which according to residents occurred in the early hours of Sunday, was allegedly caused by electrical faults leading to the burning down of over 300 shops. Our correspondent Rashid has details.
The fire, which had been put out by a combined team of fire service and local volunteers at the time of this visit by CoreTV News, left in its wake attendant gloom for traders who lost property in the incident. The shops raised is also pointed to why there is gloom among the traders. For this trader, it is a major hurdle for her to climb.
This is where there's nowhere to go. Majority of us, we try to get scholar job, we did not get job. It was the frustration that led most of us to this place. And unfortunately now, we lost everything.
Some others, however, say the major issue is how to get things back together and repay the loan to finances.
I'm into kitchen utensils business with a lot of money, around 3 million. I'm having a store, about 2 stores, and I'm having a shop. I'm a graduate. But very unfortunate, since we cannot get a collar job, I have to go into self-employed. And today everything has gone.
Meanwhile, the state governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, says the state government will partner with Offa Local Government Council in the rebuilding of the market. He also promised that his administration would work out an empowerment scheme for the victims.
We'll partner with the government at the local government level under a public-private partnership arrangement to get a brand new market here. And most importantly, we'll create a scheme that would empower those whose assets were involved in the loss to access soft loans that will enable them to jumpstart their businesses and move back to normalcy.
While many Nigerians battle with the effect of the harsh economic condition, it is expedient for those still in business to be careful of their surroundings so as not to lose all. Rashid, CoreTV News, Offa.
You're still watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break and I'll be back with more stories in sport and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
In sports now, Cristiano Ronaldo moved ahead of Real Madrid legend Alfredo Di Stefano in the club's all-time goal-scoring chart on Sunday evening. According to SoccerNet, Ronaldo, 30, scored yet another hat-trick and a 4-1 win at Espanyol, which moved him onto 310 goals from his 299 games. And the three-time Ballon d'Or winner is now closing in on record goal scorer Raul, who left the club in 2010 with 323 goals from 741 games. Real Madrid say that Di Stefano scored 308 goals in 396 games. The official statistic placed him on 307. The club attributes a goal scored in a Copa del Rey game against Betis in 1962 to 1963 to Di Stefano, while other outlets give it to Ferenc Puskás. Carlos Santillana, who played between 1971 and 88, back 290 and 645 games, while Puskás managed 242 and 262 games between 1958 and 66. And now Justin Gatlin says he has been kicked out of the Beijing World Challenge by meeting organizers. The 33-year-old, who has served 2 doping bans, was due to race in China on Wednesday after running his fastest ever 100-meter time of 9.74 seconds in Doha. Gatlin was unsure about his fitness following a flight to Beijing, but appeared ready to compete after coming through a training session on Monday. The meeting organizers have yet to respond to the American's comment. Asked whether the sudden departure may have been linked to his controversial reputation, the sprinter's manager, Bernardo Nehemiah, said, "No, it has nothing to do with that." Gatlin's time of 9.74 from Friday's Doha Diamond League meeting is the fastest in the world so far this year, and joined 6th quickest 100-meter time in history. A former Grand Slam doubles tennis champion Bob Hewitt was sentenced to 6 years in prison by a South African court on Monday after being found guilty of 2 counts of rape and a charge of sexual assault of minors, local media reported. The Australian-born Hewitt, 75, was found guilty of assaulting 3 underage girls during his time coaching children in South Africa in the 1980s and 1990s. Before sentencing, Hewitt pleaded with the court to take his poor health into consideration and said he had received anonymous threats warning of assault if he was put behind bars, Talk Radio 702 reported. Hewitt also told the court that he had suffered a stroke in 2010 and a heart attack in 2011. The court extended Hewitt's bail until Tuesday when his legal team will appeal the sentence, the radio reported. Hewitt won 9 Grand Slam doubles and 6 Grand Slam mixed doubles titles in the 60s and 70s. We'll still take another short break. We'll be back with other stories. Do join us again.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that you'll be consulting.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
Right now, witnesses say Islamic State militants are preparing to defend their Iraqi city of Ramadi as Iranian-backed militant men gather east of the city. Residents said its IS fighters have set up defensive positions and laid landmines after capturing the city. Residents were quoted as saying militants were also going door to door looking for government sympathizers and throwing bodies in the Euphrates River. Thousands have fled the city and the UN has warned of a humanitarian crisis. It says some 25,000 people have left the city only 105 kilometers west of Baghdad in recent days, adding that a flood of people already displaced from the area. Many were sleeping in the open. The UN says it is trying to meet the needs of those displaced, but funds are low and its stock have almost gone. The loss of Ramadi, the capture of the western Anbar province, is a blow for both the Iraqi government and US strategy in the area, and retaking it is a massive challenge to the Iraqi government, which has had to appeal to the Shia militias despite risk of a sectarian backlash from sending them deep into the Sunni heartland. Well, that'll be all for now on CoreTV News at 4 minutes. Thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.